All right, Math 10, we're continuing on with this idea of equations as functions, but we're going to include domain restrictions, right? Sometimes we'll have an equation and it will work, and this is especially true in real life situations where it will work, but there will be some restrictions, right? For example, there may be a function that has to do with your heart rate relative to your blood pressure, and you can't have a negative blood pressure, right, or a negative heartbeat, right? So something like that would have an equation, but maybe it's got some domain restrictions, okay? We're gonna talk about some pretty simple, small domain restrictions. Well, actually, they're pretty big restrictions because we're restricting it down to only just a few variables, right? But this is still possible that we can have both an equation and restrictions. Okay, so for these types of problems, we're gonna wanna make a table, right? So again, we're making our table. X goes on the left, Y goes on the right. And the nice thing about this one is we don't have to pick our X variables. They're already picked for us because that is our domain. Those are our only options. 4, 6, and 8. Now our equation is Y equals X minus 5. So all we're going to do is apply this function, this equation, to our variables here in our domain. We're going to get 4 minus 5 equals minus 1. 6 minus 5, positive 1. 8 minus 5, positive 3. So now, if they ask us for the range, where the range is the set of all possible y values, so we can put in -1, 1, and 3. That's all there really is to this. Let's do one more example, a little more complicated. I've put a coefficient with a fraction in front of this x here for our equation. So again, our domain is already chosen for us, -10, 0, and 5. So I can just make my table, x and y, put in my domain values, and then just put those domain values and evaluate it in this equation. So -10 times 3 is -30, divided by 5 is -6. -6 plus 2 is -4. Now, 0. Anything times 0 is 0, so that's easy. 0 plus 2, 2. 5. 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 5 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Sometimes they can come out to be the exact same thing. That's okay. And that is our table. Now again, we can make our range here. We want those curly brackets for the set. And it's -4, 2, and 5. Okay, so 2 examples in. These are numbers 7 and 10 in the notes, so you can fill those in there. And then that leaves you 8 through 14. And then we've just got some homework questions, okay? So that's it for the rest of this lesson. So this is part 2 of the videos. Make sure that you watch the first part and then this part, and you should be good to go for the homework. Okay, take care.